Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel. And I'll tell you what, it is a tricky one today for me to intro because what is going on with Tottenham Hotspur? The title is spot on, in my opinion. We need to talk about Thomas Frank's Tottenham Hotspur because there's a lot to go through, there's a lot to dissect following the fallout in Tottenham's 2-1 loss to Fulham at the weekend. An absolutely embarrassing display from Tottenham Hotspur yet again this season under their new manager after we won a Europa League. You'll never believe that we did it. We won a Europa League 6 months or so ago, and it all seems to be crumbling around us. It's such a shame. It is just absolutely gutting. But I wanted to do a live today because let's think about it. I did a video yesterday of my appearance on TalkSport where I was basically dissecting the result. And I put that live on the channel. And with our game ahead of Newcastle United tomorrow, I thought, when better to do a live stream? I haven't done a live stream since transfer deadline day. So I thought this was the perfect time to get back the live stream, get you guys to ask some questions in the chat, and we'll just have a good discussion about it because there's a lot to go through. So as I say, there's 9 of you watching now, 2 likes. If we can get this video to around 50 likes, I'd be forever grateful. We'll get all the admin out of the way. As I say, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell because it let you know when I've gone live. And also, if you want to get your get me tongue tied there. If you want to get your questions in, it's more easier if you do a super chat because then I'll more likely to see the questions in the chat and they pop up and make a notification that I will be able to hear. So 13 of you in the chat, 6 likes. That is a good start so far. And in the chat so far, we have Brian Maguire, who I know is a big fan of the channel. And he says, we have no leaders in the team. I think that's very evident. You know, a lot of the backlash and the reactions that I've seen in the last few days have been absolutely, it's just so poor. I saw the Matt Law Telegraph article with Sam Wallace, and they were just saying how since the Chelsea game they've been doing these huddles, team meetings. It's just been an absolute disaster. I think the only leader really is Romero, but he's the captain, so it's like it's expected. Apart from that, it is just an absolutely turgid team from top to bottom at the moment. It's hard to think of the leaders. It's just an absolutely barbaric thing. And today I want to talk about Thomas Frank. I want to talk about the players, the whole booing debacle that basically followed afterwards. Vicario's comments, Porro's comments, and all that sort of good stuff. So as I say, get your questions in with the super chats, and we'll be able to do that. NYIXYT says hi, hello mate. I hope you're doing well. Goat Play says, "Way up, how you doing, fella?" And then we have our first question, and I think this is the big question. What I'll do is I'll say, Goat Play says as well, Kulusevski will change this team. I think we need a lot more than Kulusevski at the moment. That is what is going to be the situation. But another few questions. Can't wait for Ronaldo to join Spurs. Can't say that's going to happen. And Brian Maguire, last point before I get into the question from Spurs fan C, says sacking Frank isn't the answer. It's the players. We are doing a rebuild. This has been going on since Poch. And Spurs fan SC says, "Are you Frank out?" Now, I did a video yesterday, as I say, live on Talksport Breakfast, basically giving my opinions on the current situation around Spurs after the fallout of the Fulham game. And a lot of people, it was like a weird mixed reaction of like, 1 minute it was, "Oh, we knew you were Frank out. We knew you'd turn. This is what you wanted when Ange was sacked." And I'm like, I'll give my opinion, and this is my opinion. I've said it today in the office at TalkSport. I've said it in general. It's one of those things where I'm still a massive fan of Thomas Frank. I want Thomas Frank to succeed at this football club. I still wanted Ange Postecoglou to get sacked. I don't want Mauricio Pochettino to come back. It is one of those things where, at the end of the day, I am so a bit done with all of this. It is hard to know where we go from here. Because at the end of the day, you sack Thomas Frank, you bring in Oliver Glasner, you bring in Andoni Iraola, you bring in Xavi, you bring in Pep Guardiola. It is going to be the same. It is just going to be the same. To me, it's just, there's a lot that needs to change at this football club. It's the players. It's the, board structure. Daniel Levy might have gone, but there's so many issues. And, I think it's just a massive, last season, going into this season, even with the Europa League, there was a lot of negative things. We've only seen 3 wins in the Premier League in 2025. I'd said this stat, I did it as like a YouTube short as well. That I think my mate, who is a season ticket holder, because I'm a Spurs member, he's a season ticket holder, he has each win out of, what is it, 3 out of 21 games has cost him technically £733 per win. It's I think it was actually, sorry, £766 per win. It's ridiculous. So at the moment, I think Frank, it is a lot on him. The style of football's not good. It's very poor. 2-0 down against Fulham after 6 minutes, to me, is unforgivable. It's very, very poor. But I want to give him a chance. I want him to be able to implement the style he was known for doing at Brentford. Obviously, I don't think he's gone about things necessarily in the right way, but at the end of the day, I've said it, I sound like a broken record. What is the right way? It was like we've gone from pillar to post, different managers. It's an absolutely, it's a torrid time, but we'll get into it more as the video goes on. As I say, 41 of you watching right now. If you could all get down below and like the video and get to my like goal of 50 likes, I'll be really grateful. As I say, super chats are always welcome, especially if you've got a question attached to it, and I'm more likely to answer it. And also subscribe to the channel because I think we're closing in 400 subs away from 11,000, which is I'm absolutely buzzing about, and that would be the best Christmas present of all. Let's have a look at some other people saying, why buy a number 10 then play without a number 10? Yeah, I mean, the Xavi Simons situation is very confusing. I mean, obviously, Xavi Simons hasn't had the best of starts at Spurs. He has had some okay cameos. I'm thinking Brighton. I'm thinking FC Copenhagen in the Champions League. But for me, Xavi Simons, I mean, to grow at this level in the Premier League, you need to be playing games. And if you're not playing games, you're not going to grow. So it is sort of a very confusing situation. I mean, ideally, you'd hope he would have come in under a situation where he'd be playing and dovetailing really nicely with, James Maddison or Dejan Kulusevski. But he's been chucked in at the deep end. And at the moment, I mean, he's got no goals. I think he's got 2 assists in all competition, which isn't the worst statistically, but it could be a lot better. It's on him, it's on Frank, it's on everyone, it's on the players around him to get the best out of it. So, yeah. And then we have Eldon. Question before that. Goat plays again. What do we think we should do when you get Kulusevski is back? I feel like Kulusevski, we shouldn't rush him back because that's literally what happened last time, and that's the issues we had. I don't necessarily believe in rushing players back, and especially at the situation where it's like, if I don't want to see him get another injury. I don't like. We've had it with Solanke. We've had it with so many players. Our injury record is absolutely turgid. So I think we need to make sure he's back at the right time and not really rush those injured players back until they're fully ready. Then we have some questions around, what do we think? I mean, Eldon 4139 says, yes, Sonny, hope you're doing well. I'm 100% Frank out. The thing is, if you're Frank out, if you're Frank in, I'm at that opinion now, and this isn't me sitting on the fence. I just think I'm at that stage now. That's why I've done this live stream. I don't know what the right answer is. We've done everything, haven't we? Conte, Mourinho, Nuno. It's just really a sticky situation where you're sitting there and you're just like I wanted Thomas Frank. I wanted Thomas Frank in. I'm not even, ashamed of saying that still. And I still want it to work. I just think, if we go into, so say tomorrow we play Newcastle and we lose that. And then we play Brentford and we lose that. Does he have to go then? I mean, maybe. But I'm also at that stage where it's like, but what else? I mean, it should be better. It should be much better. He's got better players at his disposal. He has shown signs of playing attacking football, but even our defensive football's been poor. The same issues, Ange had his set pieces. Frank's got conceding goals on the edge of the area. So, I don't know. I really don't know what to see. But yeah, Eldon as well says, if there were positive signs that we were significantly improving, then fair, but they're not. I mean, I guess Rome wasn't built in a day, a cliche saying, but it is. Sometimes what you want is you want some green shoots, you want some positives. people were taking positives out of a 5-3 defeat to PSG. So it's really tricky to know like what it's all about. I mean, Spurs fan SC says, personally, I wanted Ange to stay and build on that wonderful Europa League win. And I think he would have done better and we would have actually played well and started the game to win. Yeah, but like I've seen people argue, oh, look at against Chelsea, we lost 4-1, but at least we showed fight. We still lost. Like Ange last year, we still, were 2-0 up against Brighton and lost 3-2. Like, there's no point comparing the two because both are poor. Both are poor, but you hope that Frank will have the foundations of a defense to hopefully go forward. But at the moment, it just doesn't look like that's happening. And earlier in the season where we had like the win against Manchester City, we've not seen a performance like that since. West Ham and Everton, high scoring games, 3-0 wins in each. But it was quite like it was the other team's downfall, Everton and West Ham respectively. But yeah, it's just a massive issue, isn't it? Sylvester Robson says, I just hate that for some reason the players and the manager don't understand that our reactions are likely linked to results and performances. I've said this on TalkSports Inside Spurs. It's a vicious circle, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at the moment, because we want to be getting up off our seats and celebrating and cheering. But we're not. We're not getting that, are we? Because we're not seeing anything that could really get us excited. We're not even scoring. And at the end of the day, if you go 2-0 down in 6 minutes and Vicario's playing left back and Danzo's not covering and whoever else, Porro's, saying what he's saying as well, you're going to be frustrated. I mean, look at this. I'm now gone 11 minutes just ranting my head off. So it's just, yeah, I can't, and we pay a lot of money. Everyone in this chat right now, all 47 of you watching this, and all the other Spurs fans across the globe who not just live in Tottenham and London and the UK, across the world and take flights and come over, we're paying a lot of money and we're getting dross. We're getting dross. We got dross last year. That's why when I'm talking about this, it's not just a Thomas Frank situation. It's a Tottenham situation that's continued. This is all, it's on Daniel Levy, even though he's not at the club. It's on the Lewis family now as well. It's on Vinay Venkatesan, Johan Langer, Fabio. It's on all of them. It's on the whole squad. It's on us fans to, G them up. But how can we? How? It's like, for example, this YouTube channel. I like to be positive. I like to think of positive angles and be balanced. But at the moment, like if I put a positive video out, a lot of you in the comments will be like, Sonny, what are you talking about? Why are you heralding anything or anyone? And it's like, there's nothing positive to say. So yeah, negative Nelly at the moment, aren't I? But I mean, Brian Maguire says Frank didn't get his players that he wanted. Once he does, things will change. But he did get Kudus. He did get Polina. He did get Xavi Simons. Like, I know it's on Levy, who didn't maybe get Eze or Morgan Gibbs-White. Yeah, I just think, yeah, it's just a mess. And can we afford, El Dante says, can we afford to just buy Thomas Frank players right now? Then if he does end up going, we need to replace the. That's the thing. We've got the wrong players always for the wrong managers. Like Conte didn't have the right players. So it ends up being like, it's just a mess. Where we have Pete Tom says we have no identity. When was the last time we had an identity? Even under Ange, what was that identity? Like high line and losing? Yeah, it's just a mess. El Dante, if we lose tomorrow and perform poorly, then how much longer? I mean, we always get smashed against Newcastle, didn't we? So it doesn't change. If we get smashed like 4-1, I'd say it'll be gone. Some players say, some fans saying, what do you think the club and fallout would be like if Frank was sacked? I'm guessing the ownership would wait until the summer for a true manager appointment, and we have to interim until then. It's a long time to have an interim, though. Like it's a really long time to really think like, that is that's the avenue we want to go down. And then who's the interim? I was looking earlier, as I say, I was in TalkSport offices today. Like, who else is there for us to really, there's no one like the free managers available, the free agent managers, that like, are they good enough? No. So yeah, it's just a right mess at the moment. Absolutely just a mess. 48 of you watching right at the moment. I think it peaked a minute ago at around 50. For all of you like this video now, I would be very much appreciative of that. As I say, subscribe if you are new around here. A lot of regulars, which is good to see in the comment section. But if you like that video, I'm going to be like state the obvious. Helps the algorithm, helps more people join this community. And also, if you want to leave any super chats, because, taking time out of my evening, I wanted to do this video with you guys. I wanted to get your opinions. So anything you do to help the channel would be much appreciated. 50 of you now watching live. Liam Yana says, Colo, Simmons, Dogi, and Odobert are our most creative duo. It's the thing. Thomas Frank, another negative. He's tinkering a lot. This is where I'm like, it was 5 changes in the North London derby, another 5 changes against PSG, 4 changes against Fulham. It's not going to get consistency. And I know we're playing a lot of competitions, and this is his first time with European football and all that sort of stuff. So it is tricky. I'll admit that it is a tricky thing for elite managers to, tick over. But yeah, it is. It's silly, isn't it? And we keep El Dante says we keep making the same mistakes, edge of area goals, and wasting crosses. I mean, I don't get like Bayern Munich in the preseason. We saw this issue. I don't know how we're playing. Like sometimes we're playing a back 5 with 2 DMs and no one's crossing down. Kenny Tete again at the weekend left on the edge of the area. And the crossing is absolutely abysmal sometimes. I don't know what they do on the training ground all week. Mark Pitt says, I think Thomas Frank is a small club manager, not a big club like Tottenham. I mean, he was due the upgrade. Like, he was due the promotion to a club like Spurs, I believe, in my opinion. But, I mean, at the moment, like, even in his press conference today, I see a lot of Spurs fans saying he's talking like a Brentford manager, like the way he was hailing Nick Voltemard. So, yeah, get your predictions in the comments for what you think the Newcastle score will be. Do you think Frank gets sacked if we, lose that game? Or do you think we give him Brentford, and then if he loses to Brentford, does he lose his job after that as well? Goat Play says, how will we fit Kulusevski into our team when he's back? And also, how are we going to get Xavi in our team, since I'd rather play him? I mean, Kulusevski can play on the wing. I mean, I think obviously that left wing position is something that we're lacking. You can play Kudus on the left, Kulusevski on the right, Xavi in the middle. So that's how I sort of see maybe that going. Eventually, hopefully, hopefully Thomas Frank is around to see that. But, Spurs fan SC says, Frank's saying in the press conference that this team finished 17th last season. He promised defeats and achieved it, demoralising the players, and I can see they aren't playing for him. That's the thing. Like, it's hard to, I mean, from an outsider looking in, it does look like the players aren't playing for him. It does look like an absolute mess. Ange again, then. I don't want Ange Postecoglou back. I don't know why. It's a fairy tale again. Like, I know he won us that trophy. I'm grateful for him, but I saw enough of a portfolio, including Nottingham Forest, to say that Ange shouldn't be managing at this top level. Like, we should have been winning that Europa League easily, but we finished 17th as well and had 22 losses. So I see it both sides. George Randall, P6UF says, supported Spurs since my first game, age 6. I will never stop supporting Spurs, but this is beyond bad. Seems like we have good players, but some will struggle in a Sunday pub team. A lot of people, and I'm not saying what your age is, George Randall, but a lot of like older Spurs fans are saying this is one of the worst Spurs teams I've ever seen. And my first Spurs team was Yo, and he had sort of vibes, but there were those moments where there were poor players, like there were players who weren't really up to scratch. So, yeah, I don't know. El Dante, I'd help financially, Sonny, but my work contract ends in a few weeks. So I'm limited. Thank you for bringing live content. No, good to see. Honestly, don't be silly. If you can't afford, super chats, that's understandable. It's just, it's just something, it just helps my channel. But if you can't afford it, then do not worry. I'm here to deliver the goods anyway on a Monday night. And there's no football tonight. So another good reason that you guys have not got your, with so much football coming out, like working with TalkSport on this channel as well. Like, there's enough football for us to all be craving. But I thought tonight was the perfect time for a live stream. 63 of you watching right now. And I'll tell you what, 63, if all 63 of you like this video, that is worth, don't worry about the super chat. That is still worth it. But if you can super chat, obviously you can do that as well. Subscribe as well if you've just joined and you're new. Hit the notification bell, as I will definitely be reacting to the Newcastle game tomorrow. I have a video coming later in the week, I'm sure, afterwards, and all that good stuff. Some predictions coming in. Newcastle 3, Spurs 0. 3-1 Newcastle, but hoping for a Spurs win as always. Yeah, that's the thing. It is. I don't think there'll be many Spurs fans predicting wins. Let's just put it that way. We've got to sync with him. We've got to stick with him for now. Joe Pincombe says, I feel like it's a lot of Spurs fans are like this. And I think I'm this. I'm not Frank out, and I'm not Frank in. I'm franked off. I don't even know what to call it. I'm just absolutely sort of at my wit's end. It's like a couple of years ago, I would always get quite emotional about Spurs games and angry and frustrated and all that. But now it's like we won that trophy and it was like one of the best days of my life as a sporting Spurs fan, probably the. But now it's just I'm so lost for words. I think that's the best way to. I say lost for words. I've been talking for 20 minutes, but like it's just coming to a state where it's just absolutely crazy. And I was lucky enough as well, I don't know how much you guys obviously keep across my social media accounts. A lot of them are Sonny Talk Spurs, Sonny Snelling. I was lucky enough with Stanley, which I've just drunk out of now, to go to the PSG game last week. I was in a box. What amazing night, a good game to watch, an amazing trip, and yeah, I mean, I've been able through this channel to do stuff like that, and with TalkSport as well, and Inside Spurs. So there's a lot of positives that have happened from me following Spurs, and I love this club to bits. I absolutely adore Tottenham Hotspur. I buy the kits. I follow them since a really young age. My granddad and dad support Spurs. I hope one day when I have children, they'll support Spurs. But it's one of those things now where I'm just sitting there and it's just deflating. Like, even, after the North London derby, I've got a lot of Arsenal mates, giving it to me in chats and, in my comment sections. But, I just was like, it is what it is now. Like, it's expected, and that's been going on for years. We never turn up against the big teams. We sometimes never turn up against the small teams. It just becomes, the vicious cycle that is Tottenham Hotspur, and there just needs to be change. And how do we change it? Change the manager again? Change the players again? Change the owners? It's just absolutely, crazy. Fighter 40 says, I think we need to give him time. Look at Fergie. He was one game from the sack, same as Arteta. He was doing well. Now look at them, and trust me, it kills me to say it. He needs more time. Yeah, like Klopp, Pep in his first year finished third or fourth, I believe. It's happened to the best of managers. It's happened to, so many managers. And now I'm at that stage where it's like, I don't know what, does sacking him do anything? But the only thing is, we've not seen, a lot of those managers, they would have bad results. Like Arteta finished 8th, won the FA Cup. There were positives. Klopp got to a few finals. Pep, I think I remember City getting absolutely whacked by Everton at Goodison, but they still, next year went on and got really strong. So, yeah, Spurs fan SC says, if Frank gets sacked, who would your top 3 choices be to replace him? I mean, even this is a question. I said who I don't want. I don't want Pochettino. I don't want Ange back, even if that is a thing. Now, there's managers I admire. So these aren't necessarily who I want, but I admire them and wouldn't mind them. I mean, I love Oliver Glasner. I guess he's more proven than Frank. He's won the FA Cup. He's won the Europa League. So there's him. And also there's been those weird comments. He was calling out Crystal Palace after the game against the loss against Manchester United. You then had, in the summer, in the Mark Gay situation, his contract hasn't been, one of those things. So there's him. I like Iriola, but again, Iriola feels a bit like a Frank situation. I know they don't play the exact same football, but it's one of those things where, will we be patient? Because, Iriola plays a bit similar to Ange, but a bit more conservative. But it is going to be swashbuckling and pressing and all that high intensity. But will we be, if we maybe, conceding a lot of goals again? I mean, we're conceding a lot of goals now. But, will we be patient with that? I don't know. And then I guess you got Sebastian Hoeneß at, Stuttgart, who I like, and Xavi, who I rate, but I can't see it. It's just, yeah, I'm really not sure. I really don't know. Untamed Fitness Get Fit with whatever your 4503 says, this is why people laugh at us. We're not a big club. Every other team, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, a period of recent success. We had nothing to go for players that no one else wanted. That's the thing. We won that Europa League. Did it matter? Like, it mattered for us. Like, honestly, as I said, greatest day of our lives. But like, we actually have been building the foundations to go to the next level. So, and we haven't done it. But yeah, nearly 80 of you watching right now. As I said, get your likes in. I'll probably stream until about 7:30, or if there's appetite, maybe a little bit longer. But yeah, as I say, get your likes in, get your questions and super chats in, subscribe as well if you are new. People saying Pochettino. No, I can't. I can't go for Pochettino again. Never go back to your ex, they say. And I hope we don't do that. Beat version of Kudus or best version of Kudus or best version of Kulusevski. I think Kulusevski has shown more than Kudus. You know, at West Ham he showed potential, but there's still those moments where you're like, oh, I don't know. I really don't know if like he could be, you know, the best player. But I think Kudus can. I think they'll both become good, won't they? AK Shegs, nice one, Sonny. Nice one, Shegs as well. Hope you're well. Chip Kester says it pains me to say that in too many matches we play some of the dullest football I've seen at any level. Our identity has always been sporadic. It's very much like Mourinho again, I'd say. Bit of Mourinho, bit of Nuno, with a sprinkle of Conte. Oh God. But Sukatai 77 says Newcastle 4, Spurs 1. Job is too big for mediocre, pragmatic Frank. He tinkers and worries about the opposition more than being concerned about ourselves. I mean, you're not wrong, are you? 2-1, but we need a win. If he loses against Brentford and Forest, maybe a sacking. We've also got Slavia Prague between them as well. So it's a lot of things. Our fans are too soft. Give your head a wobble and quit booing individual players during the game. I mean, my opinion on the booing, I never personally boo because I just don't know if it's that helpful. I just, you know, to me, I understand it. I show my frustration in other ways, but yeah, I don't know. Pochettino back. No, no, I don't want that. Sukai says Fulham was called a must-win. Draw wouldn't be enough to save his skin. What is he still doing at our club? Relegation form, style, and taking price. He just isn't Spurs out. I think they want to give him time. I think, you know, they've spent a lot of money to bring him in. They want to see that he's got the, you know, capability. He, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of people above you have said, like, it does take time. These managers need time to implement stuff. Like, I don't know many managers who, you know, unless they're coming into the biggest of teams, the biggest of clubs that have not, like, you know, won the title during the first season. Like, there's actually a record that no manager has gone from one Premier League club to another and won the Premier League. Think of Poch. He didn't do it. So, you know, Eddie Howe at the moment, he hasn't done it. So, you know, what do we expect? What is our level? What is our level? Where should we, like, what do you think we should be achieving year in, year out? Is it trophies? Is it top four? It's hard, you know, as a Spurs fan, I don't even know at the moment. Wrongan says Newcastle 4, Spurs 2, 3 points sliding towards 17th. I've been a Spurs fan since 1981. It's stressful. It's the most stressed you've ever been as a Spurs fan. People saying Ryan Mason, Jurgen Klopp is also being suggested. But yeah, it's just one of those ones where El Dante said, Sonny, remember in the summer I always said Glasner was my number one pick before Thomas Frank arrived. I mean, it's probably hard to get Glasner out, but now it might look like he's got a potential, you know, to get him out. Les Laura Spurs has been a season ticket holder since '94 and was there during the Christian Gross terrible time, but we never booed a player during the game. That is a disgrace, in my opinion. Yeah, I just think, like, I can understand the boos at full time, but booing during sometimes is like, you know, I know we were 2-0 down and it's not good enough and we're all frustrated and all, but like sometimes it is like one of those moments where you're like, how are we ever going to get back into the game? Because I think like the Spurs stadium has had good atmospheres. It can be a good atmosphere, but at the end of the day, when you are conceding 2 goals in 6 minutes, I can understand the reaction totally. Again, should have pushed the boat out for Glasner. I think he's waiting for Liverpool to sack slot. Oh, interesting, says Shegs. Fully agree. Booing our own players during the match and jeering is a real low point. Spurs fan says, do you think Frank changes things too often? Yeah, I do. I do because obviously he's thinking between games, like what will work, what should I, what works for PSG might be different to Fulham. But at the end of the day, if you're tinkering and it's not working, then you might as well go 4-4-2 and just lump it each time. So yeah, it is a tricky one. Eldon says, I wonder whether Levy and his plan to step down affected us during the summer. I mean, it's hard to know unless you're behind the scenes, isn't it, on those things? Few people saying Frank out and calling him names. Big up, Sonny. Busy. Big up yourself as well. I'm going to take a little sip of water. So, it's honestly, it's a thirsty job, this, isn't it? But yeah, Patrick Thomas says, these are dark days, but it is at this point that is the most important to look forward to better times. What was the song? Things can only get better. That's literally the only thing keeping us going. Frank needs to go ASAP. It's only worth backing a manager if you 100% know it's the right manager. Frank is not that guy, and people are lying to themselves. But it's hard to know, isn't it? Like, it's really hard to know. Like, at the moment, I say I'm like well on the fence. I admit that, but I don't even know. Like, who do you, Big Mender? Who do you want in then? Who do you want in? He is far too small for a big club like Spurs. But did we say that about Fergie when he was at Aberdeen? Did we say that when Mourinho, when Porto appointed Mourinho? Like, I don't know. Holly's Hotspurs is in the chat. Evening, boss. And she says Newcastle and Brentford is going to be rough. Hope I'm wrong. Honestly, Holly, I don't know. But I hope you're well. Obviously, if you know Holly, go over to her channel. She live streams on a Monday as well. I was meant to get back to you, Holly. I forgot to reply to your text. It's been a busy weekend and I've been absolutely knackered since Paris last week. I've been recovering on sleep. Hence why I'm doing a live stream, because after this, I'll be going to bed. Busy Ant says, Ange had a better start of season than this fraud. Nuno got sacked for less. What are we doing here? Nuno had Kane and Son, and Ange finished 17th. Won the Europa League, but he still finished 17th. So, honestly, Les Laura Spurs says, the day in 94 I was at the lane to choose my seat was the same day we signed Klinsmann, and was the same last time we signed an absolute world-class player. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all with that one there. But yeah, it's just an absolute. It's a mess, isn't it? It's an absolute mess, and I don't know. As I say, I keep saying I don't know what we do. Like, I think we need to have a big overhaul of the squad. There's some players we need to get rid of. We need to, focus on the areas, build a squad, a starting team that is going to be strong enough to compete in all these competitions. Like, we still probably need a more consistent striker because our best one's injured all the time. We still need a left winger. We still probably need another midfielder, to replace Bentancur or Polini eventually. We need players given time. Xavi Simons, Bergvall, Archie Gray. The back line, we need a backup for Udogie so he doesn't get run into the ground. We need to maybe, cut ties with players that maybe aren't cutting the mustard. Pedro Porro, for example. Is he ever going to be good enough? I'm not so sure. Richarlison. It's just a lot of, it's a lot. There's still like Ben Davies is still there from, he's been under every manager under the sun. It's just, Would you give a big war chest for Jan to Frank? We never sign big in January usually. We just find deals here and there. It's a mess. And also the thing is with like this season and saying where we are in the table, like, let me get the table up because it's an absolute like joke, the table at the moment. Like, we're on 18 points and all the teams above us on 19, 19, 20, 21. Like, Brighton in 5th are on 22. It's literally not miles away. And like, there's a 6-point gap from the bottom. Any team is beating any team this season. It's just an absolute. It's a big mess at the moment. It doesn't make sense because we need more time to really understand. I think, to me, if I'm taking Newcastle as a loss, I think that'll be a loss. Brentford is the one. If we lose to Brentford, then the knives will come out, and I think then I'm like really questioning Thomas Frank. At the moment, I'm very 50-50. I'm sort of like, if he stays, I want him, I like to see him backed. I want to see him give him time. But I'm also, if he's sacked, I'm like, well, then, it is what it is. It is another Nuno. What could have been like? Nuno has still been good everywhere he's gone, hasn't he? Like, he was good at Wolves, good at Forest, probably be good for West Ham. But yeah, it doesn't. It's like we need a medium of these managers, like a good attacker, a good defense. But those are the best managers in the world, and they go to the best clubs. So again, Paxton N says, it doesn't matter who manages this group of players. There are too many of them who can't hack the physicality of the Premier League. Conte called them out and got sacked for it. That's the thing. Like even now, like there's those moments where Thomas Frank, he's feeling the pressure. He's feeling the frosty atmosphere. So it does come to that stage where you're like, what do we do? Like, yeah, it is absolutely crazy. But yeah, I've just checked my other stats. We've had 400 of you view the live stream at different points throughout the evening so far, the first 34 minutes of the live stream. 70 of you still watching right now. If we could get to my like goal of 50 likes, I'd be very, very grateful. As I said, leave your super chats. I'm getting loads of questions, loads of messages. It's hard to keep up while I'm talking and answering each one. So if you super chat them, I'm more likely to be able to read them and they pop up on my screen a bit easier. You know, I'm not asking for the world, but obviously helps me and the channel to continue to keep doing content for you guys. Yeah, as AK Sheg says, smash the like. No excuses. There's 67 of you. We can get 67 likes. Sorry to keep going on, but yeah, I'm just really passionate, and especially ahead of Christmas, want to make sure in a busy Christmas period, I'm getting you some really top content out. So yeah, all our home defeats this season have been because we were bullied out of it. Yeah, I think we're still weak. We're very weak side when it comes to it. Sammy Suleiman says if a manager could come in, he would rehaul the squad. But who would you like in? Who would be your replacement for Thomas Frank? Thomas Stank, smell the aroma. That's quite good to be fair. Because we started off calling him Thomas the Frank engine. Now he's Thomas the Stank engine. Stinking up the gaff, obviously. But it is just a really tricky situation. I mean, yeah, De Zerbi. Funny enough, De Zerbi is on the list of. I was looking for what like the odds were earlier, and like Marseille this season. I mean, they third in League One? Oh, if I didn't realize PSG went top. Lonzo having a great season, but yeah, again, like I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I feel like it's the same situation if he comes in to Zerbi, to Frank. Bing guy says get better players. Even Sunderland got proper strong men. Come on. Half of them going AFCON though, I will say that. Spurs fans, SC says the gap is low now, but if we start to lose now and have bad games, the gap increases and we might get stranded in mid-table. That's the thing. It is one of those ones where we're at a pivotal. This is the most important point of the season. People talk about the early months. People talk about the latter, the run-in. I think the Christmas period is the most important time of the year. Sounds like most wonderful time. But games come thick and fast. You've got the midweek fixtures. It is just relentless, especially for the big clubs. If you're still in the cup competitions, if you got Europe, FA Cup in January as well. So it's something you got to be on your A game. And if you lose to Newcastle and Brentford, then that's 6 points dropped. And at this stage of the season, that is not good. That is poor. So I don't know. With Spurs, it's like it's really tricky. I've never known really because obviously you had Ange last year, and it was a situation of we kept giving him for me when I lost my faith in Ange was when we lost 3-2 to Everton. We were 3-0 down at half time. I was like, I'm not seeing anything here. I'm not seeing anything. And even after the wins against, in the Europa League, like in the lead up to the final, I was like, I don't think it's sustainable. And a lot of people saying like now they're like, well, Ange was playing a backline of Ben Davis and Radu Dragusin, and I'm sitting there like, because Ange's injury record was bad because of how he played. So I'm not sure. AK Sheg says, do you think Xavi Reddick's coming to Spurs? Is that his fault? Fans say it's only because we don't pay top wages. I mean, at the moment, yeah, if you're Xavi Simons, you're thinking, what have I got to do to get in the team? It's terrible. There's no creativity. He's shown promise, but even when he came on against Fulham, he didn't do too much. When he came on against Arsenal, he didn't do much. PSG didn't do much. So it's like he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's really not great. Bingard says a point Ange back. Season 3 is better than season 2. But it's going to be more of the same. Like high, injury rates, high line, conceding tons of goals. Like, did you not watch him in Nottingham Forest? And don't tell me that Nottingham Forest squad's bad because Dyche just beat Liverpool 3-0. So they've got it in them to win. It is just, yeah. I mean, and Marinakis was meant to be his best mate, and he did hesitate sacking him. Spurs fantasy, realistically, how many points do we get from Newcastle, Brentford, Forest, Palace, and Slavia? I'll tell you how I think those would go. Newcastle loss, Brentford win, Forest draw, Liverpool loss, Palace draw, Slavia Prague win. I don't know. Tell Ange to adapt, compromise. Talk, damn it. But Ange, we had 2 years of Ange not compromising or change. Like we've gone from one extreme to the next. We scored a lot of goals, and then we were conceding a lot of goals. Now we're not scoring goals and not conceding goals, but then we concede silly goals and mistakes. And I mean, the 2 of the weekend. I mean, I still can't. I was even like Jamie Carragher style when that analysing the Vicario thing of like he didn't need to come out. He didn't need to do that. Bingo says he brought us a trophy at least. Remember, one day Ramos brought us a trophy. Is he one of your best? Like, if I said to you, who's a better manager, Poch or one day Ramos, who are you going to say? Like, one day Ramos won us a trophy, a trifle. Won us a trophy. It doesn't mean he's great. So, I don't know. Players got good memories with Ange, though. Yeah, I mean, but at the beginning, everyone was like, look, they're playing under Frank. Like, they love Frank. It's hard to know what to believe. Like, we're not behind the curtain. We can't see all this stuff unraveling. So it is a real crazy situation. Samir says, Sonny, does Frank tactics or the way we play is similar to Conte? Yeah, it is. I think, it's more similar to Conte. It's less turgid than Mourinho, or maybe not, but like Mourinho was even more defensive, I'd say. Nuno the same. It's just confusing. It's just really confusing. Spurs fan SC says Vicario made a mistake, admitted it, unlike Frank, who booed and questioned if the fans there were true Spurs fans. Yeah, the reaction from the club and the Pedro Porro statement was absolutely baffling to me. Really could not get my head around that, why they were even, questioning the fans and all that. So I wasn't really happy with how they've all reacted. Really, I just think it was quite poor, quite embarrassing, really. Just you got to apologise. We're playing for the fans. We pay a lot of money to be at the club, and it just isn't good enough. It just isn't really. It's just really poor. And funny enough, my dad just sent me a text saying it's a top comment on a video today of Simon Jordan talking about the situation at Spurs. And it's spot on. This person, it's got 114 likes on this video. It says, highest ticket prices. The fans have every right to be angry. It's a rich restaurant serving McDonald's. And that's true, isn't it? It's absolutely true. They always say the customer's always right. Well, we know what we want. We want to see, if it's not attacking football and entertaining, we want to see wins. We're not seeing anything. So, yeah, it's a mess. When you have a team that can't cope with the physicality of the Premier League, the last player you want to meet is Joe Linton. He will bully the hell out of this group. Yeah, he will. He absolutely will. I'm not shocked about that whatsoever. And then a list of some potential managers: De Zerbi, Klopp, Brendan Rodgers. Heck, even look at our old boys. Put Robbie Keane in with another ex-players and assistants. Ship out all the players that don't bleed for Spurs. Porro, Bentancur. I mean, again, Bentancur. Did we need to give him a new contract? Probably not. Like, really? Frankie's a bookworm. Bot, street smart, no good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Bing guy says not street smart. David Zat says Glasner potentially, but Big Mender, shout out to Big Mender. He has just done £2 super like. And if you guys want to get your questions in as a super like, as it helps the channel, I'm more likely to notice and read them out. And you can afford to, then get down below. As I say, 62 of you still watching, 46 likes. Make sure at least the bare minimum like the video. and subscribe to the channel, as I will have a reaction to the Newcastle tomorrow, so you guys can see that. But Big Mender says, get Xavi in. His football is a great fit for Spurs. I would be interesting to see how that is, because, Xavi obviously was managing in Qatar, then he went to Barcelona, won the Liga. I mean, it is more of an attacking style and passing, and maybe I need to watch some videos on Xavi to see how he does with his defense. But yeah, again, people saying Roy Keane, we need a warrior. But yeah, Big Bender, thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that. Really, really generous. That Glasner won with his Palace and his previous clubs. Yeah, I mean, these are all well and good, but they're coming into a situation where Spurs is an absolute mess. Also, why would these managers want to do this? Why would they want to go? Why would Glasner want to come to us? Money, maybe, but I don't know. Like, why would Xavi want to come and risk? Like, if anything, Frank coming to us might put a blot on his managerial career. Same with Ange. Same with all these other managers. So yeah, I honestly don't know. I thought on Sunday or Saturday, Frank subs after the goal killed the momentum of the team to get a second. Yeah, it was. It was a weird one. It was like and I always moaned at Ange for this, for his late substitutions, but Frank does the same. But yeah, I don't know. P. Wizilla says it's time to go. You and a lot of people would believe in that. Big Mender as well. Xavi's available, so no having to pay off a club. Yeah, but would Xavi want to come? Xavi could just wait until a better opportunity comes. David Zat says, we're a big club, 8th richest club in the world. We don't show it. We don't show it whatsoever that we are the 8th richest club in the world, which is mind-boggling to me that we don't do it. It's embarrassing. It's just absolutely embarrassing. AK Sheg says the customer is always right. We've got a stadium full of Karens. Oh God, the Karens are always wrong, is it? Mace on the case says, Sonny, just watch the presser. It looked like a man hanging on from his fingernails to me today. I mean, the quotes. I can get a couple of the quotes up now of what Frank said, because they're literally all over my timeline. Like he said, Thomas Frank said, if you want to say I'm losing the fans, how many is that? 5, 10, 15, 20%? Of course, we'd like to get all 100% on board. I think all the fantastic fans we have believe they're true Spurs fans. Again, like the press conference was a bit hijacked by like some of it. So, yeah, I mean, there's been some. Oh, hello. When was this? At 5:31, Jack Rosser from The Sun has said, growing frustration within the Tottenham squad towards manager Thomas Frank, as there is increasing confusion as to what role players are being tasked with, as plans are thrown out or either changed either close to kickoff or alarmingly early during games. Oh, God, it's happening again, isn't it? It's happening again. The players have had enough. Another manager falls by the wayside. It's an absolute mess, isn't it? It's absolute mess. I don't know what to say about it anymore. It's like, it's just absolutely abysmal. Absolutely abysmal, isn't it? But that's why I've got nothing really else to say. Like, I sound like a broken record, but yeah, it's just, what else do we do? Bin Guy says, I cannot believe we're still giving chances to Richie. This is why fans are turning. Conte told us he's not good so many years ago. Why not serious about it? I mean, I did a video on saying, why not give Dane Scarlett a go? Why not give Dane Scarlett a go? Like, what we got to lose? Brentford have a good manager playing good football. Yeah. Keith Andrews is now your new Tottenham Hotspur manager. Big Mendes says, you see, Frank, the stank is clueless. I mean, he is struggling. He's like really struggling. I can't argue with that. But yeah, it's not good. I mean, yeah, this Sun article, it's exclusive. Growing frustration within the Tottenham squad towards manager Thomas Frank with some confused over their roles. Yeah, Vicario's not a left back. Someone's commented on there. The locker room rat appears. Oh, I wonder who it is. But yeah, 3 likes away from my like target goal. I wanted 50 likes at the beginning of this video. If 3 of you who have not already liked would like the video, that would be great. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. And also, if you want to get a super chat in to support the channel, as I say, I'll probably go for another 10 minutes or so, just because I just feel like otherwise I'm sounding like a broken record. And, I don't want to ruin all your evenings with just me moaning. So, yeah, just get your questions in still. We'll go for another good few minutes because as I say, that exclusive has just dropped by the Sun, where they're saying that has Frank lost the dressing room? It is not great. Give your lineup prediction for tomorrow. Should we start both strikers, and also should the double pivot of Pellegrini and Bentancur start? Might have to. I mean, if he does, it'd be like. I mean, I can imagine it being. What would I go with? I'd go with. See, even I'd drop Vicario. I don't. Would all you guys drop Vicario after the clang, or is that telling? Maybe keep Vicario. I'll go to Vicario. I'd go Vicario, Udogie, Van der Ven, Romero, Spence. Then I'd go Bentancur, Sarr, Bergval, Xavi on the left, Kudus on the right, and Kolomoani through the middle. That's what I think. Let me know what you think of that in the comments down below. And we hit 50 likes. Thank you guys. Really appreciate that. Cheers to all of you as we are now in the 1st of December, heading into Christmas. Let me see. Managers are like players. Some are champions, some are good, some are average. We have an average manager. It could be the case. Spurs board will see how negative home support is. I think this will lead them to removing Frank. My thoughts only, but need excitement. Too much financial risk if we stay on. I don't. Yeah, I just feel like I don't know how much. I forgot the length of contract that was signed by Frank, but it wasn't long, was it? It was a like medium length contract. Scarlett must be more productive than Richie Tell and Odeberg. Give him a chance. I would have kept Lanks, Troy, and Dane. All three would score more. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Why are you saying is what we all feel? What you're saying is all what we all feel. George Randall, I'm the man of the people. So I say what we all think. And I think we're rubbish. Jonathan Evans, bring Poch back in the summer if Frank doesn't change things around. But also, Poch is the US manager. They're heading into a World Cup. So what's the point? Like, he will be managing the World Cup. We won't have a preseason. Like, what? Like, it's a mess. Is the Sun legit? I mean, they must have got their source from somewhere. But we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I desperately want Frank and Vinay to hunt for the players, Sada Marlowe and Jeremy Hernandez this January to increase attacking depth for more scoring opportunities and pose more attacking threats. And Dante, keep Vicario as he made himself known at the end of the game. Didn't hide away. Yeah, that's fair. I think we should try what we did against PSG. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it wasn't bad. We still conceded 5 goals, didn't we? So, I mean, that was bad in itself. But it's just, guys, I honestly just don't know anymore. Like, what is the right solution for all this? Because we are just in an absolute disarray of mediocrity. Like, even against Fulham, I thought we were going to give Fulham a game. I don't think Fulham are that good. So to me, it's like that's what makes it frustrating because you think we've got to be better than this. We've got to be better than this, but we're not better than this at the moment. This is our level, unfortunately. Where did I get up to? I think we should try what we did. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I've just read that. Normally, Harry, I say trust the process, but there's no progress. Give it till the end of the season. Brian Monkey thinks I look like Harry Kane. If you're wondering what that is, but yeah, I just think I think give it to the end of the season. I don't think we'd get relegated. Famous last words. I don't know. Spurs fan, can City catch Arsenal this season? I don't see why not. I mean, technically, City had probably the best weekend of any club and Manchester United because Arsenal drawing with Chelsea's a good result. Them getting a last minute winner. That's our only thing we've got to cheer about again. I mean, that doesn't help. I think that's a big factor. The whole fact Arsenal are top of the league and good. I think we always think like we're always going to compare the two. So that's where we get frustrated and we're like, this is our peak. This is like our level. So yeah, we got to keep up with them. But I don't know. They didn't win the Europa League. Frank changes the tactics every game. The players haven't a clue what's going on. We can all see it. It is just an absolute catastrophic. Like it's just a mess. I keep saying the same words. I sound like an absolute soundboard at the moment because it is just poor. It is rubbish. It is crap. We just need. I don't know what we need. I don't know what we need. I'm just a bit lost for words at the moment because I just think that with Tottenham, like we did finish, we did finish 17th last year. We did think that we thought this season would be better. I mean, maybe we were being a bit too optimistic. Maybe we were overrating ourselves. Maybe we just got to give it time. Like if we finish eighth this season and then next year we go again, we sign again. Is it too early on? Is it very premature to have these opinions? We will see. Billy says, Sonny, we will beat Newcastle tomorrow and people will shut up. Hopefully, let's hope. There isn't, Newcastle haven't been amazing. But then Al Dante says, we won't beat Newcastle. We rarely do when everything is going well. So no chance right now. Spurs fans says, Sonny, come play for us at strikers. You have similarities with Harry Kane, but you do better than Richie. I'll be honest, I'm not a good footballer. I'm not a good footballer. I'll admit that now. I play basically, when I do play, I'm a defender. I'm just I'm quite tall, so I'm a bit brutey and elbowy and pulling shirts. So I don't think I can play up top. I've got that awful touch. So I'm sorry, guys. If we play like we did at PSG, we beat Newcastle. I mean, potentially, but we struggle. I mean, we've lost there. We lost there 6-1s, 4-0 last year, 2-1. Lost there 2-0 early in the season. Yeah, it's just not good enough, isn't it? We have. David says, we have no pattern to play. I thought against Arsenal, the fullbacks were told if they go over the halfway line, Frank will find them a week's wages. Yeah, that is true. Is Thomas Frank struggling with juggling the UCL and Premier League? That's what I think. I think there was a stage where I'd rather we have just won the Europa League and not got Champions League because we're not ready to have that football. We're not it's not, like Ange in his first season, we did have European football and we did well. That's what I'm thinking. It would have been good for Frank to maybe have that. I don't know, maybe controversial. Sonny, don't you think Poch could reunite the club? I don't know who could reunite the club at the moment. We've had every name under the sun in this chat tonight. I don't even think Pep could, or Fergie, or whoever. Klopp. Don't know. I wish we ever played like Bayern Munich, but just unrealistic, and Bayer Leverkusen from 2 seasons ago in Bundesliga, which is also unrealistic. I don't know what's realistic for Spurs right now. What is Spurs' I keep asking the same sort of questions. What Spurs' level? What can Spurs achieve? Where do we see ourselves? It just comes to that stage where you're you just want better. I think that's what it is. You want to see better. You want a better outcome. It is just, yeah. And Billy, we should have won Europa League, taken Champions League money and decided not to participate. Yeah, just not file your squad in enough time. It's yeah. But yeah, as I say, I'm probably coming to the last 3 minutes of the live stream. Obviously, don't all drop off now. Because obviously get your last minute questions in. I'd say if there's going to be a bombardment of questions, a super chat rather is the best way to get your questions in. So I read them. Obviously, any donation is great. If you can't afford it, don't worry. 55 of you still watching, 57 likes. If you haven't already like the video, subscribe, because this video will still go live afterwards as a video on demand, so you can watch it back and it'll be available for you all to watch in your own time. If you missed the start of the live stream, for example, when you just joined or whatnot, that would be great. Big Mender again, another £2. Honestly, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Going to 3 games in 8 days. Brentford first, help. Do you know what? I'll wrap up with a bit of this as well. I have been to, what have I been to this season? I've been to Man United, we drew. Villa, Bournemouth. I got offered tickets for Fulham. I was busy because I was at a friend's birthday. I watched it on my phone, but I turned 2 separate tickets down. So one from another guy, and then one from, and I was like, part of me was like, oh, I don't fancy it. Glad I didn't, because I probably would have left after 6 minutes. But yeah, thank you, Big Mender. Hopefully you see some wins. But yeah, 3 games in 8 days. Who would that be? Would that be, so it's Brentford, is that Liverpool or Slavia Prague? So are you a season ticket holder or are you just a member like me? Peter George says, I could have ever imagined us sealing Europa League trophy when finishing 17th in the league last year. I know this club. I mean, Ben Bowman did a little trend recently, only Tottenham could, and he listed so many things. Honestly, crazy stuff we've done. It's just, yeah, bonkers. El Dante, thanks, Sonny, for the live stream. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you all for joining. As I say, I think, yeah, 52 you still watching now, 58 likes. I think our max views have been nearly at the 600 mark, so that's all good. Hopefully that goes up any more. Hopefully that goes up much more after this. I end the stream, but yeah, you're very much welcome. Let me know. Do you want me to do more live streams? Do you enjoy this format, or do you appreciate my other videos? Also, if you want me to do certain videos, always let me know in my comment section. I'm always keen to, do more live streams, videos, and all stuff like that. I wonder if Thomas says, I wonder if Thomas Frank looked good at Brentford simply because they had a way of playing, got the manager and players for that system. Brentford hasn't skipped a heartbeat since Thomas Frank and staff left. That's the thing. Like, Brentford lost 40 goals last year. Like, Buemo and Vissel were amazing for Frank, but now they've got Dango, Thiago, Sharda. I'm worried when we face them. David says, I'm amazed Frank with his 30 backroom staff and 10 laptops can't see what we'll see. It's true. Spurs fan C says, excuse me, which player from the Poch era would you bring back prime? Can't pick Sonny or Kane. I'll pick Dembele. Imagine Dembele in this team. I think that would be, or Dele Alli. I think I'll go Dembele. I feel like that's what we're missing. We're missing a player who can break the lines, dribble with it, progress it. I think Dele Alli, I still think, we've got Kulusevski, we've got Maddison, hopefully Xavi comes good. So yeah, hopefully. Big Mendes says, just a member, me and my dad go to every home game. Good on you. Good on you. Bring the atmosphere. Bring the atmosphere. That's what we need. Frank was a teacher. His first manager role was at under 8s team. Frank, let it go. You're managing full-grown adults now. So, but Brian Monkey says, happy Christmas, Harry. More live streams. I'll try and do some more live streams. And George Randall, love the live streams. Do you know what it is? It's because I had a holiday and all that, and then I've just been doing normal videos. I haven't really known when to do live streams, but like maybe not for games. I feel like they're a bit too long, but these are good, just jumping on, reacting to stuff. So yeah, we'll do more like that. And then, yeah, Dante, I like the live streams. Good chance to engage the Spurs community and get different people's views. That's good because I know, like, when I reply, I always try and reply in my comment section all the time. But, obviously it's a bit tricky. But here it's easy, it's quick. So, yeah, hopefully going on. I mean, I'm hoping next year, a little bit of an exclusive, I guess. I'm hoping next year to move and have a proper setup. I've got big Spurs shirts to put on the wall. So I'm hoping to have a proper studio going into 2026. Fingers crossed. So yeah, Bingo says Ericsson, we need a passer. I'd definitely go for Dembele's. But yeah. Also, yeah, Peter says also stream more live streams, please. That sounds good to me. Right. I'm going to end it there to the 54 of you still hanging around. As I said, leave your likes if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for joining. We spoke about Tottenham Hotspur because we needed to talk about Thomas Frank and all that stuff. And as I say before I go, if any of you last minute want to get your super chats in, that would be much appreciated. Any value is great at this time of year. But obviously, if you can't afford it, I understand that as well. Again, thank you so much for attending. Have a good evening all. I'm going to go and cook me dinner because I'm bloody hungry. But see you guys soon for another video. Remember, I'll be reacting to the Newcastle game tomorrow. Hopefully we get a win. Hopefully we get back on track. But if not, what are we going to do? But yeah, see you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye.